Hello and welcome. My name is Patty Fraser, and welcome to our second webinar in a series of six highlighting the skills for psychological recovery. Today, we're going to be talking about skill number two, and I'll be joined by my colleague, Teresa Todd. But I'll go over, just do an overview of the program in case you weren't able to join us for webinar one. So the program Skills for Psychological Recovery um, really addresses trauma and survival victims. But the neat thing about the program and the reason why we wanted to bring it to our community is because we understand that right now families are going through a lot of changes, and we're all really struggling with the amount of change that's gone on in our world. And we're all recognizing that we're feeling the effects of trauma, and these skills certainly are there at your fingertips to be using. So we wanted to direct you to them and educate you and let you know they're available for your use right now. So as a community mental health provider, we felt that it was really important for us to bring you the most up-to-date, hands-on and evidence-based programming that is available. And this program fits with Lynwood Charlton's core values and clinical framework of a lot of the programs that we have at Lynwood. But it's not necessary for you to be directly involved in those services to get something from these webinars. So we're really glad that you're joining us, and we hope that you can walk away at least having a bit of a plan to address some of the overwhelming feelings that you're feeling right now. So each webinar is short and sweet, approximately about 15 minutes. It will highlight the various skills that the SPR offers. And it also gives you a chance to get to know the Lynwood Charlton Centre GPS home and school team as we work through the skills with you. So give credit to this program was written by a number of trauma specialists from the National Center for Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, as well as the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. It's a wonderful program, and we really hope that you enjoy working through the skills. So this is when I get to introduce to you my colleague, Teresa, who is going to walk us through skill number two. Welcome, Teresa, and let's get her underway.
Thanks, Patty. Hello, my name is Teresa Todd, and I'm a family resource worker at Lynwood Charlton Centre. So together with Patty today, we're going to be discussing SPR's problem-solving skills with you. So let's get started. Oops. Disasters often create many difficulties that can leave people feeling hopeless or even immobilized in the face of numerous problems. Ongoing stress and pressure to do something can make it hard to step back and think effectively about the best way to handle a situation. Having a systemic way to solve problems can help people address problems more effectively, regain a sense of control, and increase their self-efficacy.
Oh, where's my slider? There it is.
Now I'm going to teach you a simple 4-step way to tackle any problem that you want. If you use it, you can cut problems down to a manageable size. To show you how it works, let's review the 4 steps now, and then we'll break down each step in more detail. The 4 steps include defining the problem and deciding ownership, setting the goal, brainstorming, and finally evaluating and choosing the best solution. Ready, Patty?
I'm ready.
Step 1, define the problem. The first step in problem solving is to define the problem that you want to work on as clearly as possible. If your problem is complex, break it down into manageable chunks. Often, what seems like a big problem, example, your family not getting along, can be broken down into smaller problems that are easier to solve, such as identifying what the family is arguing about. It may be something like not having enough money for family activities, or who gets to take their showers first in the morning. Take time to be specific, as the more specific the chunk, the more workable it will be. When you have broken one problem into 2 or 3 chunks, don't worry that you might not solve all parts of the problem. The key is to stay focused on one part at a time and not get sidetracked by your other chunks and other problems. You can deal with each problem later in the same way. Subsequent to defining the problem, you need to decide ownership. Now that you've decided on a problem to work on, you need to see if this is a problem for you to fix or a problem that someone else should fix. To find out, answer the following questions. Is this something that's happening to me or between me and someone else? Is this problem mainly happening to someone else or between other people? Step 2. Ready, Patty?
Yep, I'm ready, Teresa.
You defined a problem you want to work on. Now you need to decide what you really want to happen or be different, or what you're concerned about. For example, let's take the family arguing in step 1. We broke that big problem into 2 parts, arguments about not having enough money for family activities and arguments about who gets to take their shower first in the morning. In step 2, you need to identify your needs, wants, fears, and concerns. For the first part of the problem, you might identify things such as, I want to have a bathroom schedule that everyone's happy with. I want to enjoy my shower. I want to have less stressful mornings, or I want to have enough time to get ready in the morning. For the second part of the problem, you might think, I want to spend time doing family activities. I want to find family activities that are low cost or free. I want us all to enjoy some family time, and I'm concerned about having enough money to do it. Notice that the task of first breaking the problem down into manageable chunks and next spending time thinking about realistic goals have actually led us closer to solving the problem. The problem is starting to feel more manageable. Finally, return back to your original problem and explore what needs and concerns you have so that the goal can be identified. Step 3. Ready, Patty?
I'm sure ready.
Fantastic. Make a list of possible options to help you come up with ideas that you have not considered. This is the brainstorming step. Write down as many possible options as you can think of, including good or bad ideas. Don't judge your ideas just yet. Don't think about whether they're realistic or not. Some ideas might even sound silly, and that's okay. Step 4. Evaluate and choose the best solutions. Ready, Patty?
I sure am, Teresa.
Thanks, Patty. The final step is to choose the best solutions and test it out. Go through the list of options from the brainstorming session and think about how helpful you think they'd be. Now you can get rid of any that don't seem helpful and select options that seem reasonable, that you think might help and that you'd like to put into action. Your final solutions might even be a combination of options. After selecting the best solutions, determine a plan of action that you'll commit to in the days ahead. Make sure the plan is doable. Consider the day, the time, and any assistance needed or any obstacles that you can foresee. Following up, after completion of implementing your problem-solving solution strategy, it's important to evaluate your efforts in order to determine what your next steps are moving forward. Consider the following when you're self-evaluating. Which of the planned actions were you able to take? What happened? What was the outcome? Was a short-term goal met, even partially? What are the next steps needed to address the problem? Decide whether you need to modify the plan, and brainstorm other possible solutions to add to the list. Patty?
So I'll just start at summary and conclusion for skill number 2. Thank you, Teresa. Survivors can have continuing problems and ongoing adversities resulting from a disaster. This can add significantly to their stress level, distract them from self-care, and increase traumatic stress reactions. Problem-solving skills give you a tool to break these problems down into more manageable chunks, like Teresa showed us, giving you a range of ways to respond and help you thoughtfully decide what actions to take. Thank you so much for joining us in this